roads are vanished in the rear. There is no gravity and there is no fear. I found a key inside a broken jar. Now I am brighter than a dying star. The air is thick with majesty and light. We are the architects of pure delight. I summon up the thunder and the rain to wash away the memory of the pain. Yeah, this is the pinnacle of soul, a wildfire out of all control. I am the center of the blaze, the glory of the coming day. Ascending through a velvet sky, too fierce to fade, too bold to die. The universe begins to swing. I am the only song losing. This is the pinnacle of soul, a wildfire out of all control. I am the center of the blaze, glory of the coming day. Ascending through a velvet sky, too fierce to fade, too big to die. The universe begins to swing. I am the only song to sing. Look at the splendor in my eye, beyond the reach of all their light. The nation clock has ceased to tick. The fuse is short, the flame is quick. I claim the throne, I claim the heights. In this procession of the lights, the heavy doors are swinging wide. There's nothing left for me to hide. The common world is far below my feet, like victory and heavy passion meet. I feel the pulse of every living thing, the secret joy that only saints can bring. My voice is shaking every window pane. A royal blood is flowing through the vein. The silence has been shattered by the cry of someone who has learned at last to fly. The final battle has been fought and won. I am the sister of the rising sun. The mountains bow before the path I take. The very foundations start to shake. I eat the fabric of a brand new age and tear the bitter ink from every page. The destiny I chase to finally hear, crystal sharp and heaven sent and clear. This is the pinnacle of soul, a wildfire out of all control. I am the center of the blaze, the glory of the coming day. Ascending through the velvet side, too fierce to fade, too bold to die. The universe begins to swing. I am the only song to sing. This is the pinnacle of soul, a wildfire out. shadows pass, but there is fire in the heart of every stone. A secret rhythm that will carry on our own. The heavy shackles of the world are falling light as we go climbing through the center of the night. Unlock the gates and let the heavy water flow. There are no borders where the wildest spirits go. We are the architects of everything we feel, turning the rusted spokes upon a silver wheel. The mountain peak is just a step away from home, beneath the arches of a vast and open dome. Take me back to where the sky begins to gray, above the choices that we never have made. Lifting higher than the beats could ever fly, a million colors stretching out across the eye. Rising up beyond the reach of every fear, the only vision that remains is crystal clear.
Yo, ignite the spark until the spectrum breaks the gray. I'm painting giant patterns on the canvas of the day. Adrenaline is pulsing through the wires in my sleeve. I got a pocket full of miracles, you better believe.
Walking like a giant while the pavement turns to gold. I never bought the story that the cynics always sold. Watch the prism shatter as I step into the light. I'm the king of every shadow in the middle of the night.
Got ruby in my vision and a sapphire in my stride. There ain't a single secret that the universe can hide. The frequency is climbing past the ceiling of the room. I'm a sonic boom bursting from a technicolor tune.
Flip the switch and watch the ocean turn to liquid lime. I'm skipping over seconds on the clock of frozen time. Gravity is heavy, but my boots are made of air. I'm throwing bolts of lightning like I simply do not care. Can you feel the fire moving in your soul? We are taking back the power and the full control. Will you stand up tall and let the colors run? We are glowing brighter than the morning sun. The black and white is fading out of you. The sky is bleeding every shade of brand new hue.
No more hiding in the corners of the dark.
We are the friction and the flame and the spark.
I'm a hurricane of emerald and a storm of bright orange. I'm unhinging every doorway and I'm ripping off this door hinge. Listen to the thunder as it rattles through your bones. I'm the architect of magic sitting on these plastic thrones.
My blood is made of starlight and my heart is made of brass. I'm the giant footstep moving through the blades of silver grass. Forget the old directions and the maps of dusty ink. I'm standing on the precipice and I refuse to blink. Can you seal the fire moving in your soul? We are taking back the power and the full control. Will you stand out tall and let the colors run? We are glowing brighter than the morning sun.
The dust has settled on the approaching hell. A heavy sun is sinking through the boughs. I trace the carvings on the kitchen gate, where every scratch was left to concentrate. The silver ghost of gathering in the hall, to witness how the shadows climb the wall. I hold the silence like a jagged stone, a kingdom built of marrow and of bone.
Grabbing punches underneath the wheels. That familiar ache is all a person feels when the distance starts to shorten in the mind, leaving every bitter year behind.
We used to flare, chasing nothing through the summer air. Now the engine hums a low and steady song for the places where we knew that we belonged.
But the day breaks open like a golden fruit, tearing through the tangle of the root, and the sky is wider than the ocean's blue, bringing every promise back to you. Yes, the light is pouring through the iron gate, lifting up the spirit from its weight, and the world is turning in a brand new skin, letting all the holy fire in. For the day breaks open like a golden fruit, tearing through the tangle of the root, and the sky is wider than the ocean's blue, bringing every promise back to you. Yes, the light is pouring through the iron gate, lifting up the spirit from its weight, and the world is turning in a brand new skin, letting all the holy fire in.
You see, I used to think that time was a thief, just taking things away and leaving us empty-handed.
I spent so many nights looking back at the wreckage, trying to piece together a map that didn't lead anywhere.
But then you realize that the road isn't just a line behind you.
It's a force moving through you.
It's not about holding on to the ghost of a feeling.
It's about the momentum of the blood in your veins.
It's the way the heart gathers speed when it finally stops, asking for permission to be whole again.
We aren't just looking back
We are carrying it forward.
until it catches fire. So take the keys and throw them to the wind. Forget the places where our luck would fin. The highway stretches like a living wire, burning with the fierce and clean desire.
There is a hammer striking on the bell, breaking every cold and lonely spell. The map is torn but the direction stays, moving to the fever of the days.
And the day breaks open like a golden fruit, tearing to a tangle of the root, and the sky is wider than the ocean's blue, bringing every promise back to you. Yes, the light is pouring through the iron gate, lifting up the spirit from its fate, and the world is turning.
The lights are bleeding through the ceiling glass, whispering where the heavy shadows pass. The static in the mirror starts to flare. There's liquid electricity in the air. I'm hunting for the peeper in the haze, a diamond burning in a hollow maze. The pressure builds until the valves explode. We're shaking off the weight of every code.
The floor is melting into silver streams, a century built of waking dreams. I'm chasing down the pulse before it dies. The sun is rising in 1,000 eyes.
Our world is tilting on a spinning wire. We're fueling up the furnace with the fire. No gravity to hold the movement down. We're taking every jewel inside the crown, elevated higher than the clouds can reach. Listen to the gospel that the speakers preach. Step into the center, let the engine roar. I'm breaking every lock and every single door. The king is on the platform and I'm taking aim. You'll never be the same once you hear the name. I'm a hurricane wrapped in a velvet glove, pushing through the record to the sky above. Turn the volume up until the metal screams. I'm the architect of all your wildest schemes.
Keep it moving, keep it jumping, let the feet spread. I'm the only one alive inside your head.
The pendulum is swinging in the dark. We're waiting for the friction and the spark.
The vision is becoming crystal clear. The finish line is finally drawing near.
I'm holding on to every golden thread until the gray is painted over red. listen to the gospel that the speakers preach.
The dawn breaks cold across the jagged spine of granite peaks, where ancient flints and silver veins await the one who speaks. The frost begins to thaw beneath the pale and steady sun, as the rivers rush toward the throat to prove the winter done. We stand upon the threshold of a kingdom made of stone, to claim the glory written in the marrow and the bone. The anthem Ancestors are watching from the stars above the snow. They lend us all the courage that a mortal soul can know. With every step we strengthen what the ages cannot break. A legacy of brilliance for the future wants to take. Rise to the summit where the gilded eagle soar. Above the thundering of tides that batter on the shore. An asteroid opens like a map of destiny. Across the rolling hills and deep into the restless sea. Our hearts are heavy with the weight of triumphs yet to be. In this golden age of Ireland, the spirit of wild and free. Whoa, whoa. Rise to the summit where the gilded eagle soar. Above the thundering of tides that batter on the shore. A master reason opens like a map of destiny. Across the rolling hills and deep into the restless sea. Our hearts are heavy with the weight of triumphs yet to be. In this golden age of Ireland, the spirit of wild and free. Whoa.
Under heavy feet, digital pulses through a marrow of steel. Nothing is borrowed and nothing is real. The city is breathing in vertical lines, searching for God in the data designs. The voltage climbs to a fever degree. The ghost in the engine is breaking free. Liquid lightning in a hollowed out vein, washing away all the rust and the stain. In case of motion of the cold machine, the brightest flicker that the void has seen. A million shadows in a synchronized spin, where the hardware ends and the souls begin. In case of motion of the cold machine, the brightest flicker that the void has seen. A million shadows in a synchronized spin, where the hardware ends and the souls begin. Iron lungs pumping, chemical breeze. Static is crawling like a swarm of bees. Calculating every shift in the far. Humanity knocking at a reinforced door. The light is a weapon that cuts through the dark, leaving a trail and a jagged blue spark. Every heartbeat is a clockwork to man, guided by fate and a surgical hand. The voltage climbs to a fever degree. The ghost in the engine is breaking free. Liquid lightning in a hollowed out vein, washing away all the rust and the stain. Engage the motion of the cold machine, the brightest flicker that the void has seen. A million shadows in a synchronized spin, where the hardware ends and the souls begin. Engage the motion of the cold machine, the brightest flicker that the void has seen. A million shadows in a synchronized spin,
pressure rises like a silent tide. There is no corner left for you to hide. Bow to the fire that burns without a flame. Forget the world and how you knew your name. I am the gravity that pulls you down. The iron jewel within a heavy crown. I scream into the void and fill the space. A sovereign power in this holy place. The sun that shatters as I claim my height. I am the only source of blinding light. Your heartbeat mirrors every word I throw. A sudden fever in the frost and snow. I weave the lightning through my open palms, dismissing all the hymns and ancient songs. The ground is trembling underneath my heel. The only truth that you are forced to feel. The curtain falls but I remain on stage. The final sentence on a ruined page. The air grows heavy with the weight of gold. 1,000 stories yet to be unrolled. The pressure rises like a silent tide. There is no corner left for you to hide. Bow to the fire that burns without flames. Forget the world and how you knew your name. I am the gravity that pulls you down. The iron jewel within a heavy crown. I scream into the void and fill the space. A sovereign power in this holy place. The sun that shatters as I claim my height. I am the only source of blinding light. The morning cracked open like a feverish skull, spilling white heat across the frozen floor. I watched the mercury climb the jagged glass until the shadows couldn't take it anymore. The sky became a sheet of burning glass. We gathered the kindling of our quiet days, and threw the clocks into the rising fire. The neighbors looked at shadows against the glare, but we were busy feeding a holy fire, breathing in the heavy shimmering air. The gravity gave up its ancient hold. The heavy stones began to drift and sway. We shared the weight of everything we're told and watched the solid world dissolve away. An eruption of light in the center of the chest. The sudden roar of a heart finally unchained. No longer a guest in this house of unrest, where only the brilliant lightning remained. It is the kingdom of the blinding sun, where the end and the beginning are one. The prophets are sleeping in the dusty pews, while the lightning writes its name upon the wall. There is no longer any bad or good news, just a thunderous silence of the fall and the golden terror of losing it all. The chains of the minute hand finally snapped. The iron gates melted into a silver stream. No longer caged and no longer trapped in the ground. blinding sun, where the end and the beginning are one. It is the kingdom of the blinding sun. The morning broke like a prism through the dirty glass, shaking off the shadows that we traded for the past. I found a sovereign gold buried in the grave. Now every mile I walk is a holiday I play. The dust is settled on the trophies and the crowns. We are lifting up the sky while we are looking down. No more hiding in the hollow of a ghost. I am dancing with the fire that I love the most. Victorious, victorious. The spectrum is bleeding through the white. Victorious, victorious. We are swallowing the thunder and the light. There is a riot in the canvas where the red meets blue, a celebration of a struggle that we wandered through. The seal of the silence with a jagged sound, higher than the summit where the lost are found. Kaleidoscope eyes in a kingdom of stone. I am standing on the peak and I am not alone. The prophets in the alleyways are turning their heads to see the giant canvas that our spirit spreads. It is a heavy saturation of a wilder grace, washing all the worry from a tired face. The iron gates are melting in the heat of a bloom. There is no more oxygen for shadow of gloom, just a saturated fever of a winter stride, with the ocean of the planets crashing inside. Victorious, victorious. The spectrum is bleeding through the white. Victorious, victorious. We are swallowing the thunder and the light. filters peeling off like golden skin. A ladder made of pure frequency rising from the dirt. Ascending on a wave that knows no name, but yes, it's through the crash and yes to the spilling radiance. The tension is a chord that finally gives way. We are waiting through the velvet intensity of the dawn, where the mist is lit with prayer for the waking sun. The climb is a steep staircase carved in the clouds, where the low hum matures into a piercing shout. Every lung is filling with the electricity of change as the horizon rushes up to meet the soles of our feet. From the cellar of the soul to the apex of the light, the eye expanded through the marrow and the bone. The air is thick with the scent of coming thunder, and the voice that was a ghost is now a roaring fire, dragging every heavy limb toward the edge of the sky until the gravity snaps and the center cannot hold. From the cellar of the soul to the apex of the light, the eye expanded through the marrow and the bone. The air is thick with the scent of coming thunder, and the voice that was a ghost is now a roaring fire, dragging every heavy limb toward the edge of the sky until the gravity snaps and the center cannot hold. Tearing through the static with a hungry kind of stride. Nothing in the rearview and nowhere left to hide. The engine is a fever and the asphalt is a wire. Tangle in the sparking of a fundamental fire. Catch it while it's burning or it vanishes from sight. Dancing on the razor of a blinding streak of light. Hey! Hey!
Gravity is shaking like a leaf upon the vine, trying to keep balance on a disappearing line. The clock is just a hammer hitting nails into the floor, but we don't need the minutes or the hours anymore.
Every single heartbeat is a riot in the chest, spinning like a dervish with no patience for a rest. Hey!
Go, go, go,
Higher than the fever flows,
go, go, go.
where the heavy current blows. It's wilder kind of motion than the world has ever known. An avalanche of motion rolling down to claim the throne. You can't contain the pressure and you cannot run the sun. The race is never finished when it's only just begun.
Hold the wire tight until the knuckles turn to white. Swallow up the distance in a single gulp of night. There is no map to follow and there is no ghost to chase, just the raw momentum of a frantic kind of grace.
The walls are getting thinner as the pulse begins to climb, breaking every shackle on the wrists of weary time. A symphony is playing in the wind. A brand new chapter ready to begin. The path is narrow, but the aim is true. The old foundations giving way to new. The weight of history is in my hand, a silent promise to this ancient land. I feel the fire burning in my chest as every heartbeat passes every test. Oh, let the heavens open wide and sing the triumph that a loyal heart can bring. We are the spark that turns into a flame. The world will tremble at the holy name. Beyond the clouds where eagles dare to fly, our destiny is written in the sky. Oh, let the heavens open wide and sing the triumph that a loyal heart can bring. We are the spark that turns into a flame. The world will tremble at the holy name. Beyond the clouds, we dare to fly, our destiny is written in the sky.
The curtain rises on a kingdom made of jagged steel. I step inside the circle just to prove the fire is real. The mercury is climbing and the pressure starts to bloom. I sweep the shadows out with every thunder in the room. The heavy hammer drops to mark the turning of the page. A hurricane of motion liberated from the cage. I manifest the lightning with the motion of my hand. The final architect of how the finish will be planned. Behold the panoramic view of every bridge I burn. The ledger of the lessons that the underdog has learned. I trade the steady pulse for something jagged and refined. A calculated fury leaving quietude behind. The atmosphere is thickening which barks against the dark. I leave a trail of embers just to designate the mark. No longer playing safe within the margins of the sheet. I orchestrate the chaos until victory is sweet. This is a detonation of 1,000 burning suns. The sprint toward the glory where the marathon is run. We push against the ceiling till the heavy raft is cracked. A surge of pure momentum with no way of turning back. The zenith of the struggle is a blinding flash of light. A symphony of power blooming in the dead of night. We capture every second like a diamond in the rough. Because the ordinary never seems to be enough. The clock is ticking faster than the beating in my chest. I put the ghost of every doubt and every fear to rest. The golden surge of energy is flooding through the veins. I break the rusty links of all the prehistoric chains. The world is getting smaller as I escalate the height. I wrap the whole horizon in a coat of liquid white. The vision is a furnace and the spirit is the fuel. The ending of the story is the breaking of the rule. I take the microphone and turn the handle like a blade to cut through every wall that all the towers ever made. The sonic boom is rattling the foundation of the floor. I offer up the anthem that the people waited for. The colors of the climax start to bleed across the wall. I stand upon the summit and I never plan to fall. The ink is drying fast upon the fabric of the day. I let the roar of triumph sweep the gravity away. The final act is here and it is brighter than the rest. A frantic demonstration of a heart within the breast. I synthesize the heat until the liquid turns to gold. A narrative of courage that has never yet been told. The sparks are flying upward to the corners of the sky. I look the ending in the face and never blink an eye. The resonance is heavy and the frequency is high. I touch the very ceiling just to prove that I can fly. This is the detonation of 1,000 burning suns. The sprint toward the glory where the marathon is run. We push against the ceiling till the heavy raft is cracked. A surge of pure momentum with no way of turning back. The seed of the struggle is a blinding flash of light. A symphony
conductor of the midnight train.
To a grain of sand, take the lightning in a naked hand. The heavy pressure makes the diamond bright. We are the friction in the dead of night. Muscle and the tendon and the bone and the bile, walking down the length of the jagged mile. No water in the well, just the bitter oil, turning up the secrets of the ancient soil. Harder than the anvil, tougher than the hide. Nowhere left for a coward to hide. Face to the gale and the teeth to the wind. This is where the real work begins. Call it out, Father, it's the spirit still tough. The spirit is the stone and the stone is rough. Response back sharp like a razor edge. I am the witness on the narrow ledge. Tell me once more, can you stand the pace? I am the runner with the scarred up face. Faster than the spark, faster than the flame. I am the prayer who forgot the name. Oh, call it out, Waba, are you ready for the toll? I am the captain of my own dark soul. Response back deep like a canyon wall. I am the giant who refused to fall. Tell me once more, can you hear the sound? I hear the thunder shaking up the ground. Heavier than lead, heavier than the sky. I am the fire that will never die. Unfold the map of the jagged earth. Move to the dirt where the soul is worth. No mercy for the weak in the iron rain. The heavy link of the rusted chain. Climb the mountain down to a grain of sand. Take the lightning in a naked hand. The heavy pressure makes the diamond bright. We are the friction in the dead of night.
Moonlight is fading through the heavy glass. The gravel road is singing under the wheels. We Tell me the secrets you keep from the sun. Hold the silence until it starts to break. The race is over before it has begun. So hear the fever for the fever's sake. Gravity is just a ghost we used to know, caught in the pull of a rising tide. The further we wander, the deeper we go, with nowhere left for the heart to hide. Gravity's just a ghost we used to know, caught in the pull of a rising tide. The further we wander, the deeper we go, with nowhere left for the heart to hide. The fuse is short-lived against the hard asphalt. The engines grind a heavy metal prayer. No room for hesitation or a sudden fault. Just the smell of burning rubber in the air. We are the projectiles fired from the dark, tearing through the fabric of the night. Every nerve is catching a jagged spark, chasing down the bleeding edge of light. Acceleration is the only truth we know. Oh, the pressure builds until the dams all break. Nowhere to hide and nowhere left to go. Through the storm that follows in our wake, the power surges in a tidal wave, breaking every chain that held us down. This is the moment that the restless crave. The heavy silence shattered by the sound. Iron veins are pulsing with a frantic heat. Gravity is losing its ancient grip. The city collapses under flying feet, while the stars begin to flicker and to slip. Don't look behind at the wreckage in the dust. The future is a wall we're crashing through. In the steel and the thunder, we place our trust, leaving behind every shadow that we knew. Acceleration is the only truth we know. Oh, the pressure builds until the dams all break. Nowhere to hide and nowhere left to go, but to the storm that follows in our wake. The power surges in a tidal wave, broken every chain that held us down. This is the moment that the restless crave. The heavy silence shattered by the sound. Counting pulses in the center of the storm, where the jagged edges finally transformed. Every struggle was a diamond in the rough. Now the armor that I wear is strong enough. See the vision shining through the broken glass, watching all the lesser phantoms fade and pass. I am standing where the heavens meet the clay, chasing every little ghost of fear away. The horizon breaks beneath my very feet. Victory is tasting sovereign and sweet. I am burning like a sun that never set, forging glory out of all the old regrets. Watch the brilliance as I claim the vacant throne, taking back the crown that I had always known. I am light and I am power, I am free. Feel the thunder of this radiant energy. There is no ceiling to the heights that I can scale, no more wind to knock the wind out of my sail. The universe is vibrating with my name. Nothing ever is or will be quite the same. I am the anthem and the force that cannot fail. The horizon breaks beneath my very feet. Victory is tasting sovereign and sweet. I am burning like a sun that never sets, forging glory out of all the old regrets. Watch the brilliance as I claim the vacant throne, taking back the crown that I have always known. I am light and I am power, I am free. Feel the thunder of this radiant energy. The horizon breaks beneath my very victory is tasting sour and sweet. I am burning like a sun that never sets, forging glory out of all the old regrets. Watch the brilliance as I claim the vacant throne, taking back the crown that I've always known. I am lightning, I am power, I am free. Feel the thunder of this radiant energy. I felt the static crackling beneath the floorboards, the wire thrumming with a sudden fever. We were holding our breath in the cold gray rooms, waiting for the sky to break its silence. Now the mercury is climbing through the glass, and the shadows are falling back into the dust. Every clock in the hallway has stopped ticking. There is only the weight of the coming storm. The distance between us is vanishing fast, like a train engine burning through the prairie. The light is blinding where the edges meet. The mountain is turning into a ghost. I can hear the high wind screaming through the teeth of every hollow valley and every broken bridge. There is no map for where the lightning lands. There is no shelter from the blinding cold. say the moment the silver becomes a flame, we are shedding our skins like old winter coats, leaving the heavy boots by the shore. There is a high note vibrating in the bone, a frequency that shatters the leading sky. No more walking in the mud of the valley, no more dragging the anchor behind. The light is blinding where the edges meet. The mountain is turning into a ghost. I can be the high and scream of good teeth of every hollow valley and every broken bridge. There is no mountain where the lightning lands. There is no shelter from the blinding cold. The light is blinding where the edges meet. The mountain is turning into a ghost. I can hear the high wind screaming through the teeth of every hollow valley and every broken bridge. There was no map for where the lightning lands. There is no shelter from the blinding cold.
Dust settles on the marble floor, where kings once knelt and begged for more. I stand amidst the wreckage of the years, beyond the reach of petty hopes and fears.
The sun is bleeding gold across the plain, the holy fire to wash away the stain of every border drawn in borrowed ink.
Now watch the heavy chains begin to sing. The air is electric and thin at the height where the day gives its soul to the oncoming night. My pulse is a drum on the edge of the sky.
To live in this moment is never to die.
This is the zenith of the burning crown, where all the walls of silence tumble down.
A sudden rapture in the violet light. The world is ours to conquer in its flight.
The roar of ages rising in my chest, put every ghost and every doubt to rest.
We reach the peak where heaven meets the clay, in this majestic age of yesterday.
No map can hold the distance we have run, the final race against the setting sun. The iron gates are melting in the heat, the taste of triumph bitter and yet sweet.
I hear the crashing of 1,000 tides, when nothing but the sovereign truth abides. A legacy inscribed in shifting sand, now held within the hollow of my head.
The air is electric and thin at the height where the day gives its soul to the oncoming night. My pulse is a drum on the edge of the sky.
To live in this moment is never to die.
This is the zenith of the burning crown, where all the walls of silence tumble down.
A sudden rapture in the violet light. The world is ours to conquer in its flight.
The roar of ages rising in my chest, put every ghost and every doubt to rest.
We reach the peak where heaven meets the clay, in this majestic end of yesterday. Yesterday. heavy load.